If you've spent enough time on Roblox, you've probably noticed that being rich on the platform isn't as simple as having a few thousand Robux sitting in your account. There are levels to this whole thing. A weird social hierarchy exists inside Roblox, and somehow everybody silently agrees on where everyone stands. It's like some bizarre economy, where people judge your entire existence based on whether your avatar looks like it shops at the clearance section or owns enough limited items to fund a small country. So today, we're going through the 7 levels of being rich on Roblox, starting from the guy who thinks he's Jeff Bezos because he bought premium once, all the way to the people whose inventories look like they accidentally robbed the Federal Reserve of virtual hats. Level 1 is what I like to call the I have 20 Robux bow before me phase. Everybody starts here. You buy your first Robux package, maybe a few hundred, and suddenly you feel unstoppable. You replace your default bacon hair outfit with some random shirt and pants combo you found on the marketplace. Maybe you buy a pair of sunglasses that cost 15 Robux and a goofy face accessory that looked funny at 2 in the morning. In your head, you've become royalty. You're walking through games like you're the King of England, even though your account balance could barely afford a cheeseburger if Robux was real money. The funniest part is that at this level, you start judging people with default avatars. You completely forget that 2 days ago, you were one of them. The power goes straight to your head. You enter games and think you're part of the elite when, in reality, you're still financially hanging on by a thread. But everybody has to start somewhere. Then we move into level 2, the premium subscriber millionaire phase. These are the people who discovered Roblox Premium and suddenly think they're business executives. They get their monthly Robux allowance and feel like they're receiving dividends from some giant corporation. Their avatars begin looking cleaner. They start buying game passes without having to spend 20 minutes debating whether they're making the biggest financial mistake of their lives. They have enough Robux to survive comfortably. They aren't exactly swimming in money, but they're no longer checking their balance every 5 seconds with tears in their eyes. At this stage, players begin using words like investment when talking about accessories worth 30 Robux. They act like they're Wolf of Wall Street while purchasing a pair of headphones for their avatar. You know the type. They'll spend 300 Robux and immediately say, "It's fine. I have premium." Like they've discovered some infinite money glitch. They're comfortable, but they're nowhere near the truly rich players. Those people exist on an entirely different planet. Which brings us to level 3, the Drip God stage. This is where appearances become everything. These players have enough Robux to make their avatars look ridiculously good. They own layered clothing. They have matching accessories. Their avatars somehow look like they stepped out of a professional photo shoot. Every item coordinates perfectly. You see them in games, and instantly know they spent way too much time in the avatar editor. These are the people who spend 45 minutes deciding between 2 pairs of virtual shoes. They're not rich enough to buy anything they want, but they're rich enough to make everyone else jealous. They understand fashion trends better than some actual clothing designers. Their avatars look expensive, and honestly, half the time they are. You'll find these players taking screenshots, posing in social hangout games, and changing outfits every 3 hours, because apparently looking fabulous inside a block game is serious business. Then we enter level 4, and things start getting dangerous. This is the Game Pass Emperor stage. These people don't ask whether a Game Pass is worth buying. They simply buy all of them. Double cash? Sure. VIP access? Why not? Infinite inventory space? Throw it in. They treat game developers like waiters bringing appetizers. Every time a game updates, these players casually spend another 1,000 Robux without blinking. Meanwhile, everybody else is reading descriptions, watching YouTube reviews, and calculating whether they can survive without buying it. Not these people. Their answer is always yes. Need a pet? Bought. Need 10 pets? Bought. Need exclusive weapons? Bought. Need the ability to fly while wearing a rainbow trail? Absolutely bought. Their strategy consists entirely of throwing money at every obstacle until the obstacle gives up. And honestly, I respect the commitment. They're playing Roblox on easy mode while the rest of us are still reading tutorials. Level 5 is where things become absurd. This is the limited collector phase. Limited items enter the picture, and suddenly Roblox transforms into the stock market. These players speak a completely different language. They'll say things like, "Bro, I flipped this Dominus accessory and made 30,000 value," and everybody around them nods like they understand. Meanwhile, normal players are sitting there wondering whether Dominus is a medieval king or a pizza topping. Limited collectors are terrifying because they know exactly what every item is worth. They memorize values like sports fans memorize statistics. They know price histories, demand ratings, and market trends. Their inventories are worth more than some people's computers. They don't simply buy accessories. They invest. They trade. They negotiate. It's like watching Wall Street brokers, except everyone's arguing over hats with wings attached to them. At this stage, players begin flexing inventories instead of outfits. They open their profile and suddenly everybody nearby experiences emotional damage. You're sitting there with your little shoulder pet, and this guy casually owns enough limited items to purchase a used car. Which takes us to level 6, the please touch grass stage. These players have reached a level of wealth that stops making sense. Their avatars contain accessories you've never even heard of. Limited items worth millions of Robux. Faces so rare they look like ancient artifacts discovered by archaeologists. You search the catalogue and realise half their outfit isn't even available anymore. Some items haven't been obtainable since dinosaurs roamed the earth. These players are legends. People recognise them immediately. You see one enter a game and suddenly everybody gathers around like they've spotted a celebrity. Some players ask for screenshots, others simply stare in disbelief. Their inventories are mythical. Rumors spread about them. People whisper numbers like they're discussing forbidden knowledge. Bro, I heard his inventory is worth 50 million Robux. Nah, it's 100 million. Nobody even knows anymore. At this point, the wealth becomes incomprehensible. The average player can't relate. It's like trying to explain billionaire problems to someone who just wants enough money to buy lunch. But even these players aren't at the top. No, there's one final level, the last stage, the absolute peak of Roblox wealth. Level 7 is what I call the living museum phase. These are the players whose inventories belong in history books. These people own items so rare that some players genuinely forget they exist. Original Dominus accessories, ancient hats, collectibles worth amounts so ridiculous that saying the number out loud sounds fake. Their inventories are less like accounts and more like digital treasure vaults. At this stage, they're no longer collecting items, they're preserving history. You know you've reached this level when YouTubers make entire videos about your account. Traders know your username. Entire communities recognize you. People treat your inventory like a national monument. Some of these players own enough virtual items to buy houses in real life, which is completely insane when you remember we're talking about block characters wearing oversized hats. Imagine explaining that sentence to somebody from 1995. Yeah, this man owns digital headphones worth the price of a car. They'd assume you've completely lost your mind. Yet here we are. What's even funnier is that some of these people don't flex at all. They'll join games wearing basic outfits while secretly possessing inventories worth more than the GDP of several small islands. They walk among us unnoticed, like undercover billionaires hiding in plain sight. And that's somehow scarier. Because while the average player is proudly showing off their new hair accessory, this guy quietly owns enough rare items to cause economic instability in the trading community. The funny thing about all 7 levels is that every single stage feels rich when you're in it. The level 1 player thinks he's wealthy because he bought a cool shirt. The level 3 player feels unstoppable because his avatar has perfect drip. The level 5 collector feels powerful because he owns valuable limiteds. Everybody believes they've made it until they encounter someone 3 levels higher and suddenly experience a financial awakening. That's the true Roblox experience. No matter how rich you are, there's always some random guy with a Valkyrie helm, 3 Dominuses, and enough limited items to make your account look like pocket change. It's an endless ladder where every step reveals an even more ridiculous level above it. And honestly, that's part of the charm. Roblox has somehow created a universe where virtual wealth carries actual prestige. People grind games, trade collectibles, and build fortunes entirely inside a world populated by blocky characters with smiley faces. And somehow, everyone accepts this reality without question. It's beautiful. It's strange. It's completely ridiculous. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Because whether you're the level 1 player celebrating your first 100 Robux or the level 7 collector whose inventory requires its own security team, everybody shares one thing in common. The moment a new accessory releases, we're all standing there looking at the price tag and saying the exact same words. Do I really need this? And the answer, 9 times out of 10, is yes. Because no matter how rich you become on Roblox, there's always another hat waiting around the corner to destroy your finances. And honestly, that's the most Roblox thing imaginable.